I never had the feeling that you're recruiting me.
All the books were written by L. Ron Hubbard. They would tell us to look at objects. Hubbard sounds like Harvard, right? I was like, oh my God, it's like Harvard. Like I'm learning from Harvard.
Are you practicing Scientology
No,
when I go
not.
to bed and you get up at night? I don't know.
Hey guys, it's YB.
And Herbert.
It's been a while since we sat down with the food. We've been doing a lot of traveling in December, beginning of January. Now we're back. And of course, we got Jollibee because that's just fan favorite and also our favorite. We discovered Jollibee because of doing these videos. And ever since then, we've been getting it so many times.
Personally, I discovered a lot of things thanks to you guys. Thank you very much that you added this stuff to my life.
Well, so today we got Jollibee. We got a 12-piece chicken bucket, so we have enough chicken for everyone. So I wanted to start kind of a new series-ish where we eat some of our favorite foods to share with you guys and talk about a certain topic, almost like a podcast, but so that you guys could even enjoy it from a car without actually watching the video, or could sit down with us, eat, and just kind of have a hangout vibe. And every topic should be something interesting that's going on in our lives or in the world. And today's topic to begin the story was gonna be my childhood story of going to a Scientology school. We're starting heavy. I mean, the reason why we're starting with this is because there was a recent Try Guys video that came out on second try on the platform. So I don't know if it will be on YouTube. I hope it is at some point. We did a Try Guys game time, getting to know each cast member, and we got to reveal a lot of facts about ourselves during the game. And one of the facts that was revealed about me was that I went to a Scientology school accidentally for my middle school. So I want to tell you guys kind of how I grew up in Korea and how I moved to America and how all of these stuff happened while eating Jollibee.
Wow, that's interesting to me as well, how that worked.
Did you know about that story?
I did know about the story. I never asked questions.
That's smart. So let's first dig in. I'm wearing gloves because I don't want to get all the greasy hands on the camera and stuff.
I don't understand why I'm turning like you. I never thought I'm gonna wear gloves.
You don't have to. I just
well,
want to.
that's why I already have them on.
So first bite of the Jollibee chicken. That is the crunch that we need. So I was born in Seoul, Korea, as most of you guys already know by now. I lived there until I was 12, so pretty much the first beginning of my childhood, I lived in Korea with my parents. Around the time I was going to middle school, so that was when I was 11, 12, my parents were considering the option of sending me to America. And that's because I wasn't thriving in Korea. Like I was always more artistic. I wanted to do story writing and creative stuff, while Korea was kind of more geared for the academics like math, science, you know, to become the best lawyer, best scientist, best doctor. And also in Korea, how it works in schools, I don't know about it anymore, but at least back then, they ranked everyone based on your scores, on your exam scores. So you have it all over the school, like what rank you are in the whole class and then for the whole school. It was quite stressful as a young student to always be compared to other students, like literally in front of the whole school. Of course, then the parents get also really competitive because you want your kids to be the smartest in the school, because otherwise your kid won't make it to be successful. That's what like the mentality was there. Of course, two of my best friends were always top 1 and 2 of the whole school, not even the class, the whole school. They were so smart. And I took the same academic classes with them. I had same tutors as them, but I wasn't even number 3. I was like number 14 or something out of the whole school, which again, out of hundreds of kids, I think that's still good. But in my mind, that was just not good. Like I felt stupid compared to other kids. At the time, my grandparents on my dad's side, they lived in Oregon.
How did they go to Oregon?
I actually don't know.
Why?
I haven't asked them. Maybe I should. Because my grandparents lived in Oregon, my parents decided they would send me to a school in America, which at the time for me was a horrible idea. Like what? I don't know anyone in America. I barely know English. All my friends are here. I didn't want to leave my whole life behind and move to a different country. If I think back now, I think it was the best decision ever, because I have the life I have now because of that.
Man, it's tough as
I don't have a choice.
As a youngin', it's tough to imagine just moving away.
So they were researching schools, right, in Oregon that I could go to. and ideally a boarding school so that I could have a place to live instead of just staying at my grandparents. And they found a boarding school in Oregon. That was really big. It was a private school. It looked amazing because it was on top of like the mountains. It was in the woods. And if I remember correctly, I first attended their summer camp to kind of see the vibe. And I remember it was really fun. So like as a 12-year-old kid who's never been to a different country, you would think, you know, everything is so scary. But just going there to the nature, because I grew up in Seoul, which is all city. Just think of New York. I grew up somewhere where tall buildings and cars, and these were just like my everyday view. I go to Oregon, so many beautiful like mountains, like nature. It was just a new life for me. We went on a boat on a river and like did a bunch of crazy activities that was so new to me that I loved it. And I actually didn't have trouble getting used to the whole like language and new people because I had learned some English in Korea. Of course I wasn't perfect, but I knew enough to get by.
You could communicate with them?
Yeah. I don't have a memory that I had a hard time communicating. So after the summer camp, I really liked it. So then they decided to send me to the actual school. So when the school year started, they put me in a dorm in that school. So I had a roommate who was really nice, like American. And I made new friends there. And I just went to the school for 2 years. My grandparents were nearby in Oregon, so I could just go to them on the weekend if I wanted to, but I didn't go that much because I was having so much fun at the school. You know, it was my new experience being away from my parents at 12. I just remember doing my own laundry and feeling so cool. Like, oh my God, I'm independent. I think that also helped me kind of grow as a person. And I'm not talking about the Scientology part yet, by the way. This is just like me going to a boarding school at the age of 12. And you can share this experience because you also went to a boarding school around that age, right?
That's another episode.
Okay. Favorite story on another
Because I'm already almost done here.
What?
There's 2 left.
So you ate 4 already.
Yes.
You can keep eating. We still have the Palabok Fiesta. But yeah, maybe slow down a little, huh?
I already ate my burger as well. So.
Oh my God. And then after the 2 years, my whole family moved to California. So then I moved away from Oregon and then went to a school here, high school here in Palos Verdes. So yeah, I didn't discover the whole Scientology thing until way later. Like until I even learned what Scientology was, which was like in college or after. What is Scientology, Herbert? Why don't you explain that while I'm eating?
Scientology is, I don't know. I've never got in touch with, I guess I'm living with one.
No.
Member, but I don't know. I just know it's some kind of belief system.
It is some kind of religion/cult. It's considered more of a cult than a religion, but either way, there's a lot of people who are in it, like Tom Cruise, for example. There are many actors. How we really learned about it was with South Park, right? They did a show.
True. Yeah, it's true. Through South Park, not in a very positive way.
No, I don't think it's known very positively. The thing about them, is that they recruit people very sneakily. And that was kind of the same case. So later we find out the school I attended was actually a Scientology school. If you had any common sense, I guess you would have known once you attended, because the books we learned from, all the books were written by L. Ron Hubbard, who is a creator, founder of Scientology. If you're, I guess, a parent who knows about this stuff and sees that your children are learning from books written by L. Ron Hubbard, you should probably know that's a Scientology school. However, in our case, my parents were in Korea. They probably had no idea what Scientology was or who L. Ron Hubbard was. I'm a kid. I also have no idea. What's actually funny is that when I saw that the books are written by L. Ron Hubbard, Hubbard sounds like Harvard, right? So I thought, because I knew Harvard as a really prestigious, smart school, I was like, oh my God, it's like Harvard. I'm learning from Harvard. That's what I thought at 12-year-old. So I actually thought this was really good boarding school for smart people. They were still normal, educational books, if I remember correctly. We still did normal stuff. We did reading classes where we read books that other kids in normal schools read, like The Giver, all these books you read at that age we read. So the academics weren't too different. We still learned the same stuff like math, science, all that stuff. We had classes. It's just that the books we learned from were written by L. Ron Hubbard. And the only few things that stand out to me that were more different, I guess, there was an ethics room or class. Whenever you did something wrong, so a lot of kids live there. It's a boarding school. There's a bunch of kids. So of course people get into fights or whatever. Then you're sent to the ethics room. We did like an activity. So based on what you did wrong, there was a different activity assigned. There was clay, the clay you play with. You would make with the clay what happened, kind of. Like you would make the human parts and you would make like what you did. You would actually demonstrate what you did wrong with the clay.
Sounds like it.
Sounds helpful, right? In that case, I think it was actually not bad. I don't know if that's a Scientology method or...
But you said people were generally nice and...
No, everyone was really nice. Yeah, I would never have known that this was a Scientology school or that they recruit people. Okay. Again, never once it was mentioned, the word Scientology, but again, you're kids. You never know these like subtle brainwashing or mentions. There probably were some. Whenever we were upset, they would tell us to look at objects. That I remember a lot. If you're upset about something, they would say, okay, look at the wall. Now look at the floor. Now look at the ceiling. Now look at the table. Like that was one of the things that they did a lot.
Are you still in touch with Scientology?
Well, not with Scientology, but
Are you practicing Scientology
No, I
when
am
I go
not.
to bed and you get up at night? I don't know.
No. Obviously, I made friends there. I didn't keep in contact with all of them. But there was one girl that I really got along with. And I still keep in contact with her. She was at my wedding. And it's funny, she also didn't know it was a Scientology school. Her parents didn't know either. So I don't think I was the only one who was unaware of what was going on there. Talking to her, there were quite a few kids who didn't know. And the parents pulled them out once they found out what it was.
Yeah, you should be upfront with that. Right?
The thing is a private school, so I think they're allowed to maybe hide it. I'm not sure what the laws are. Because they did teach normal stuff. Like we learned from the same books as other schools. We had same academic classes. It's really hard to say, what the rules are. But it is crazy now that I think back that
You didn't know.
I didn't know. And most people who go to that school actually start from kids. So they had grades starting from preschool, like little kids. So a lot of the teachers who go there would have babies and the babies would then enter the preschool there. And then it's not just middle school that I went to. It would continue from lower school, like upper school. Upper school was like their high school that I didn't make it to because I went to California by then. They had lower school, upper school, and then once you graduated the upper school, then you were pretty much ready for college. So you could go there your whole academic school life and then probably be brainwashed by then, I would think. And if you become a teacher, like a lot of the path of the people there were that they went to that school their whole life, graduated, became a teacher, and they had kids, and their kids also then went to that school. So if you think that way, it is kind of culty. But also, like they were so nice, the individual people that I met, that I don't want to talk bad about them because I never had a bad experience there. It's just so odd that this whole thing was based on somewhat of a religion. Not just Scientology, it would be weird for any religion. Like a Christian school that had from kid to adult go to the same school and then have babies and then repeat the process in the same
There's
school.
probably stuff like that.
I'm sure, yeah. So yeah,
I mean,
that
again,
was
everyone needs a community, and if they're nice, all good. I just don't necessarily like the part, like you said, when you're not aware that, because it should be more transparent.
So you're being recruited, kind of.
Yeah. When you first mentioned it, and I don't know when it was, I was like, huh, okay. I never had the feeling that you're recruiting me. So I was okay with that.
Maybe you don't know, but you're
Probably.
already part of it.
Probably.
That was our story. Let us know if there's anything else you want to know about us, and we can do another episode. Eating different food. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!